This is the 3D VIEW-MASTER story Lassie and Timmy. VIEW-MASTER Reel 1. The Wounded Crow, Picture 1. Timmy and Lassie went fishing one hot summer day. For a long time Lassie sat by Timmy's side, not moving, not making a sound. Then all at once she jumped up, cocked her head to one side and began to bark. "What is it, Lassie?" asked Timmy. "What's wrong?" Lassie ran along the river bank. She sniffed at something shiny and black beside some stones. Picture 2. Timmy tossed his fishing pole on the bank and ran to see what it was. "Lassie, you found a crow," Timmy said. "Ooh, oh, look! He's hurt a wing and can't fly. We'll take him home and see if we can fix it." At first the crow was afraid of Lassie and Timmy. He flapped his good wing, trying to fly away. When Timmy bent over to look at the broken wing, the crow pecked him on the end of the nose. "Ouch!" cried Timmy. "Just for that I'm going to name you Peck." Picture 3. Timmy talked to Peck in a quiet voice, and Lassie made soft sounds deep in her throat. Soon Peck knew he'd been found by friends. "Lassie, you carry my pole," Timmy said as he gently lifted the crow. "I'll carry Peck." They headed down the path toward the barn. "Poor Peck, his wing hurt so badly, he didn't move," Timmy said. "He's a mighty sick crow, Lassie. I think I'd better call the animal doctor." Picture 4. Said the doctor. "The bone in his wing is broken." "Will he be all right?" asked Timmy. "As good as new," answered the doctor. "We'll set the bone, put some splints around it, and tape it up real tight. Then it will heal nice and straight." "It was lucky Lassie found him," said Timmy, patting Lassie on the head. Picture 5. Timmy made Peck a bed out of clean, warm straw. Every night Lassie slept close by. At first Peck moved only when Timmy brought food and water. But when his wing began to heal, he started hopping about. Soon Peck and Lassie were fast friends. Picture 6. Peck rode all over the farm, perched on Lassie's back. Timmy went with them catching grasshoppers, beetles and caterpillars for Peck to eat. One day he said, "You know, Lassie, Peck will eat almost any old thing." At last Peck's wing was well and strong. Picture 7. One day some crows in a nearby field saw Peck on Timmy's back. They called, "Caw, caw!" "Caw, caw!" answered Peck, excitedly hopping up and down. "Caw, caw!" Timmy knew it was time for Peck to leave. He lifted a bird from Lassie's back and tossed him into the air. Peck flew away to join the other crows. Lassie barked. Timmy called, "Goodbye, Peck." VIEW-MASTER Reel 2. The Runaway Mule. Picture 1. When the new mule came, Timmy took the lantern and went out to the barn as soon as he could after supper. Lassie, of course, was right behind him. They went into the stable and talked to Mr. Lucky, the mule, for a long time. He yee-yawed when Timmy pulled an apple and a lump of sugar out of his blue jeans. "Listen, Lassie, Lucky can talk. He's trying to say thank you, Timmy said proudly. Lassie lifted a friendly nose to the strange animal with the big ears. The mule snorted and Lassie barked while Timmy stood by, pleased that they were friends. Picture 2. The next morning when he awoke, Timmy heard Lassie barking out in the barn. He dressed hurriedly and ran out to the stable. Lassie was holding the mule's broken tie rope in her mouth and shaking her head. "Lucky has run away," cried Timmy. "We've just got to find him. He doesn't even know the neighborhood." Lassie whined to let her little master know that she understood. Picture 3. Lassie picked up the scent and dashed off into the woods, barking. Timmy raced after her, shouting, "Here, Lucky! Here, Lucky!" It was a hot day and Timmy had to stop every now and then to rest in the shade of a big tree. "Golly," he said as he patted the collie's head, "I sure hope that Lucky doesn't get into any trouble." Picture 4. Lucky, in the meantime, was having a meal, problem as he had managed to get tangled in Miss Malone's clothesline. Then he was having a problem with Miss Malone herself when she saw what had happened. "Oh, my clean clothes," she cried, running out into the yard. "You stubborn mule! You stupid donkey! You've ruined my washing!" Lucky laid back his ears apologetically and showed his teeth as if he were smiling. Picture 5. Just as Lassie and Timmy came up behind the hedge, Miss Malone took the broom to Lucky. Oh, Lucky's going to get it now," Timmy whispered. Miss Malone whacked the mule over the head with her broom. "Scat, you mean old mule," she shouted. Lucky didn't need a second threat. He was scared and took off down the road at a gallop. Picture 6. Lassie ran after the frightened mule and headed him off in the canyon. Panting and red in the face, Timmy soon caught up with them. He threw his arms around the mule's neck and said, "Come on home, Lucky. We won't beat you with an old broom. We like you." Picture 7. Lassie took the mule's rope in her mouth. "Come on, girl, lead Lucky home. We'll find him a rope that he can break this time." The three of them walked home through the woods. It had been a busy morning and they were all pretty done in. Timmy looked at Lassie and said, "I guess we gave the new mule a good name. It's lucky that we found him before he got into real trouble." Lassie wagged her tail as if she understood. VIEW-MASTER Reel 3, The Foolish Hunter. Picture 1. One autumn day, Timmy, Tony and Lassie were out in the woods playing cowboys and Indians. They were darting from tree to tree, having a grand time, when all at once Lassie stopped still. "Shh," said Timmy, holding a finger over his lips. "Lassie smells something." "It's a deer," whispered Tony, dropping to his knees in the tall grass. "See over by that tree." "Oh, it's a buck," whispered Timmy, hiding part way behind a tree. Picture 2. Suddenly, Lassie saw a hunter on the opposite side of them aiming his gun at the deer, and she knew they were all in danger of being shot. With her nose, she nudged Timmy close to the trunk of the tree. She crouched down behind him. Then came the sharp snap of the rifle. Bang! The bullet hit the tree above Timmy's head, scattering bark all around. Picture 3. Timmy tried to call out the hunter. He was so frightened the words stuck in his throat. All Tony could do was stare at the gash the bullet has made in the tree just above Timmy's head. Lassie sprang from behind the tree, her white ruff standing far out around her neck. Picture 4. A low growl rumbled deep in Lassie's throat. Like a golden streak, she dashed through the trees. She was running to save Timmy and Tony's lives, because the hunter had not seen the boys and was aiming his gun to fire at the deer once again. Picture 5. Lassie sprang upon the hunter just as he was ready to pull the trigger. With her 4 paws, she pushed the hunter over backwards. Bang! The bullets shot into the sky, and Tony and Timmy were safe. Good work, girl, called Timmy. Good girl. Lassie stood guarding the hunter until Tony and Timmy reached her side. Picture 6. Call off your dog, the hunter said in an angry voice. She attacked me for no reason. She did it to save us, Timmy said as he and Tony pulled Lassie off of the hunter. Then the 2 boys told the hunter what had happened. When the boys had finished, the hunter said, I guess I ought to thank your dog for attacking me. If she hadn't, I might have shot one of you boys. Now Lassie was willing to make friends. She held her paw up to the hunter so he could shake it. Picture 7. The hunter invited the boys and Lassie to share his lunch with him. They sat around the hunter's camp, eating sandwiches and talking about the dangers in the woods. Thanks to the lesson Lassie taught me today, I'll never be careless in the woods again, the hunter said, patting Lassie on the back. After this, when we are in the woods, we'll wear a bright cap like you, Tony told the hunter, and I'll tie a red ribbon around Lassie's neck so she'll be safe too, promised Timmy. Lassie stood up, letting the boys know it was time to go home.